Welcome to another deep dive, everyone. We're cracking open Dean Graziosi's Millionaire Success Habits today. So much good stuff in here. You ready to unlock some secrets?
Absolutely. And you know what I think is really interesting is that Graziosi, right from the start, he really challenges that whole idea that hitting a certain income level, that's it. That means you've got a good life.
Yeah, he talks about this unfulfilled middle. Like, you might have the money, but something's missing. Just going through the motions.
Exactly. You can have two people both making good money, but one is trapped in this cycle, working multiple jobs, sacrificing time with family, no real purpose. The other person is in control, loves their work, has great relationships, wakes up feeling excited. That's the difference between what Graziosi calls the unfulfilled middle versus the empowered middle.
And money alone, it doesn't guarantee that happiness. It's about finding that alignment with your values and what you truly want out of life.
Right, your aspirations.
So how do we escape that unfulfilled middle then and find that empowerment?
Graziosi says it all starts with understanding your why. That deep down motivation for everything you do.
He tells that story about meeting his mentor, Joe Stump. And Joe just kept asking him why, over and over again.
Yeah. At first, Graziosi, he's talking about wanting to help his students leave a legacy for his family, all good things. But Joe's like, no, deeper. Why?
It went deeper than just wanting to be rich, right? It came from his childhood, growing up in poverty, wanting to give his kids choices, control, stuff he didn't have.
That's the power of really asking yourself why on multiple levels. It helps you find that core motivation. What fuels your actions, your purpose?
Yeah, it's like peeling back the layers of an onion. What motivates you at your deepest level, right?
That's the question.
Think about that for a second.
Okay, so you found your why, right?
Yeah.
Graziosi says you got to face this thing he calls your inner villain. It's that voice in your head, that self-doubt holding you back. You can't do it. You're going to fail. You're not good enough. You know the one.
Oh, I know it well. It's super discouraging.
And Graziosi, he points out how it shows up. Negative self-talk, comparing yourself to everyone else, listening to bad advice, only focusing on your weaknesses. He tells that story about writing his first book, just totally riddled with self-doubt because he wasn't like a trained writer.
Yeah, and then that editor basically told him it was a 200-page conversation. Ouch.
Right. Talk about a blow to the ego. But Graziosi, instead of letting that stop him, he realized his message was more important than perfect grammar. Fired the editor, published the book anyway, became a bestseller.
What a lesson. Don't let that fear of not being perfect hold you back.
Yeah.
Sometimes that raw authenticity, that's what connects with people.
It's all about pushing past those limits, stepping into what he calls championship mode. You got to believe in yourself, your ability to reach those goals. Have you ever tried that cool about you exercise?
No, what's that?
It's simple, but powerful. Just make a list of everything that's cool about you, your strengths, accomplishments, anything, your sense of humor, how you connect with people, resilience, specific skills. It's about acknowledging all that awesomeness.
It's so easy to focus on what we lack that we forget to appreciate what we already have.
That's it. Shift the focus from criticism to appreciation. It makes a world of difference.
Okay, so you've got this solid self-belief, right? Graziosi then talks about attraction and persuasion. But he's not talking about being manipulative. It's more about connecting genuinely with people.
Think about it. You're buying a car. That pushy salesperson, they're just bombarding you with features and benefits, not even listening, not really understanding you. But the salesperson who takes the time to really hear what you need, asks good questions, helps you find the car that fits your life, that's someone you trust, right?
Or you want to work with them.
Yeah.
True persuasion starts with understanding, not just pushing your own agenda.
Graziosi actually tells a story about pitching a business idea to investors. He was nervous at first, tried to project this image of success, not totally genuine.
Oh, ask.
He realized that being open and vulnerable, sharing his real story was way more effective. People connect with authenticity. It's like people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Right.
When you're passionate about something, it just shines through.
It's not just what you say, it's how you say it, the energy behind it.
Exactly.
Huh.
Graziosi also talks about storytelling. Instead of just listing your accomplishments, weave them into a story people can relate to.
He even talks about making up bedtime stories for his kids to teach them life lessons.
Right. A good story captures your attention, makes the message memorable, creates that deeper connection. Really powerful tool.
So much good stuff.
Wait.
So far, we've got understanding your why, conquering that self-doubt, mastering persuasion. What else is in store?
This one's interesting. He has a very different perspective on happiness. It's not what you might expect. He basically says that happiness isn't the reward for success. It's actually a prerequisite.
Wait, so you got to be happy first to be successful. That's kind of backwards. I think most people think it's the other way around.
Right. But he argues that we shouldn't wait for achievements or validation from others to feel happy. It's about cultivating inner happiness, regardless of your circumstances.
Okay, I'm listening. How do you cultivate inner happiness?
Well, that's what we'll dive into next.
Okay, so how do we cultivate this inner happiness Graziosi is talking about? Is there some secret formula?
Well, no magic potion, but he does give you some practical happiness habits you can try. One that really stands out is uh, stopping that overthinking. Have you ever noticed how overanalyzing, dwelling on those what ifs, it can really hold you back?
Oh, yeah, analysis paralysis. You get stuck thinking about all the possible outcomes, good or bad, and you never actually take action.
Right. Graziosi says, have a bias towards action. Don't let overthinking paralyze you. Better to just make a decision, move forward, even if you make a few mistakes along the way. You can always adjust course as you go.
Learn by doing, right? Embrace those mistakes as feedback.
He actually encourages his kids to fail every day, meaning try new things, step outside their comfort zones, even if they don't get it right at first.
That's such a great way to look at failure. It's not about avoiding it, it's part of the process. You grow from it.
Absolutely. And along those lines, he also talks about letting go of grudges. Holding on to resentment, it just eats away at you in the long run.
It's like that saying, drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Exactly. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from that weight so
Yeah.
you can move forward with more joy and peace of mind.
Yeah, some powerful mindset shifts there. But Graziosi also gives a lot of practical tips for, like, being more productive, right?
Oh, absolutely. He knows that time is precious. One thing he recommends is scheduling dedicated creative time each day.
I love that. It's like giving yourself permission to just think, brainstorm new ideas, let your mind wander.
And it doesn't have to be hours, even just 15-20 minutes can make a difference. He also talks about the importance of saving, even if it's just a little bit each week.
It's not just about getting rich, right? It's that sense of security and control, having a safety net so you could take more risks, pursue your goals without that fear of falling flat.
Exactly. That feeling of security, it can really boost your confidence, reduce that financial anxiety, and then you can make better decisions overall.
So it's not just about the money itself. It's the peace of mind that comes with knowing you have that cushion.
Now, shifting gears a bit, Graziosi talks about this 90-day sprint thing. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it, yeah, but it's not sure exactly how it works. Sounds intense.
It's not about burnout. It's more about harnessing your focus and energy for a shorter period of time to make big progress towards your goals.
So instead of feeling overwhelmed by this huge goal, break it down into smaller pieces and just focus on making steady progress over 90 days.
Exactly. He says you got to start by picturing that ideal outcome. Imagine it's 90 days from now, everything went perfectly. What do you see? How do you feel? Really get into the specifics.
Like creating a mental blueprint for success.
Right. Then you break that vision down into smaller steps. What needs to happen each week, each day to get you closer to that goal? It's about being intentional, eliminating distractions, and focusing on those activities that really move the needle. He calls them your unique abilities.
So the things we're naturally good at, the stuff that really makes a difference.
And delegate or outsource the rest if you can. Work smarter, not harder. Now, he also brings in this tool called the DOS conversation.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one. What's DOS stand for?
It stands for dangers, opportunities, and strength.
So like a personal SWOT analysis, kind of.
Very similar. Let's say your goal is to start a business. First, you identify all the potential dangers, the fears that are holding you back.
Like not having enough money, fear of failing, competition, all that.
Yeah. Right. Write it all down, get those worries out in the open. Then you shift to the opportunities. What are the potential benefits of hitting that goal? How will it improve your life, your finances, your impact on the world?
Think big. Explore all the possibilities.
Absolutely. Then finally, you look at your strengths. What skills, experiences, resources do you already have that can help you overcome those dangers and really grab those opportunities?
I see how this can be helpful, getting a more balanced view. Acknowledge the challenges, but also see your ability to overcome them. It's shifting from fear and doubt to empowerment.
And that takes us to another big thing in Graziosi's book, The Importance of Mindset. He's always saying, our thoughts and beliefs, they shape our reality. Have you ever heard that phrase, aligning your story with your vision?
Yeah, I have, but not sure what it means practically.
Think about the story you tell yourself about your life, your realities, your limits. Does it empower you or hold you back? Graziosi says we can rewrite our stories, align them with the vision we have for ourselves.
So it's about challenging those limiting beliefs, reframing the narrative to support our goals.
He tells this inspiring story about a woman named Carol. Grew up in poverty, always believed that the poor stay poor, and that belief, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy for her.
It's amazing how those ingrained beliefs can really shape things.
But then Carol found Graziosi's work started to challenge that story. She realized her beliefs were holding her back and began rewriting her narrative, focused on her strengths, took action, and ultimately transformed her life. She became the hero of her own story.
Wow, that's a powerful example of how changing your thoughts can literally change your life.
Now, beyond aligning your story with your vision, Graziosi talks about cultivating a championship mode mindset, stepping into that state of confidence, unwavering belief that you can achieve your goals.
Like an "I've got this" attitude.
Exactly. He talks about creating a personal power phrase, something that evokes a feeling of power and determination.
Like a mental trigger that instantly shifts you into a more positive state.
Precisely. He also talks about surrounding yourself with positive people, supportive people.
The ones who lift you up, not the ones who drain you.
Right. Be mindful of who you let influence you, make choices that support your growth. Now, one thing I found really interesting was this idea of paying your success tax.
Haven't heard of that one. What does it mean exactly?
It's Graziosi's way of reframing challenges and setbacks as just part of the journey to success.
So instead of seeing them as failures, see them as opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly. He shares a story about having a huge business failure early in his career. Devastating at the time, but it forced him to really dig deep, build resilience, and learn valuable lessons that ultimately set him up for success later on.
Paying your dues, earning your stripes.
And he says we all pay our success tax in different ways. Could be hard work, sacrifice, setbacks, even heartbreak. But those experiences, as tough as they are, they shape us, prepare us for that next level. He even says we should desire an upgrade in our problems.
So the bigger the problems, the more we're pushing ourselves, expanding our capacity for success.
Right.
Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, not roadblocks. Now, before we move on, got to touch on one more big thing Graziosi talks about, the importance of contribution.
Giving back, making a positive impact.
Yes. He says true success isn't just about wealth or achievements, it's about using your gifts and talents to serve others, make a difference.
Finding that alignment between your own success and your contribution to something bigger.
Exactly. He wants us to cultivate a mindset of abundance, believing there's enough success to go around, we can achieve our goals and help others achieve theirs.
It's not a zero-sum game. Everybody wins.
And he shares a quote from his mentor, Joe Stump, "The more you give, the more you get."
Powerful message. So we've covered a lot. Mindset, habits, productivity, that success tax, and giving back. What I'm curious about is how do we put it all into practice?
Yeah.
How do we make these millionaire success habits stick? Yeah, so many great ideas and insights. But how do we take all this and actually apply it to our lives? How do we make these millionaire success habits stick? You know, Graziosi, he's all about action. It's not just about reading the book and feeling all inspired. It's about, turning that knowledge into action. And he gives you a framework for that. It starts with that 90-day challenge.
Right. And he even outlines like a 30-day challenge right in the book. Specific tasks to help you shift your thinking, develop those habits.
Yeah, exactly. One of them is to perform a random act of kindness for a stranger.
Oh, like that.
Something simple, buy someone coffee, help them carry groceries, just a little something.
Yeah, that's great. Just like shifting your focus outward, getting out of your own head, making a positive impact on the world.
Another one focuses on creating a not-to-do list, identifying those activities that drain your energy, distract you from your goals, things that just aren't contributing to your well-being.
That's so important, that intentionality with your time and energy. Saying no to those things so you can say yes to the things that matter.
He also has a challenge that's all about identifying your true self, your passions, maybe your dream job or business. It's about imagining a world without limitations, where money and time are no object. What would you do? What would you create?
That's powerful. Reconnecting with that inner spark, that sense of purpose.
And then there's Courage Day. He challenges you to take action on something you've been putting off, that dream you've been hesitant to pursue.
Yeah, stepping outside your comfort zone, taking that bold step towards the life you want.
Of course, building new habits, it takes time, it takes effort. There will be setbacks. You'll face resistance. Graziosi really emphasizes practice, persistence above all else.
Showing up consistently, staying committed, celebrating those small wins along the way.
He tells this funny story about his daughter learning to pitch in softball. She was so resistant to changing her style, even though it wasn't working. But eventually, she embraced the challenge, put in the practice, and saw a huge improvement. It just shows you that growth often requires us to get a little uncomfortable and be willing to learn, to adapt.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into millionaire success habits, think about what you've learned. What can you apply to your own life? Have you discovered your why, that driving force?
That's it. And just one millionaire success habit you can start practicing today? Maybe it's scheduling that creative time, creating that not to-do list, maybe just smiling more often. It doesn't have to be a huge change. Just start small.
Absolutely. Start small and build from there. Imagine your ideal life 90 days from now. What does it look like? What steps can you take today to make that vision a reality?
Remember, success, it's not about luck. It's about mindset, habits, and action.
Graziosi says you're either climbing or you're sliding. Which direction are you going to choose?
We hope this deep dive gave you some valuable insights to unlock your own millionaire success habits. Keep learning, keep growing, keep striving.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time.